So as everybody knows, at this point, those of you who are following my renewable energy project, you'll know that I actually don't have my setup online, basically. Everything's in pieces. And I just realized how dusty this was. Just holding a light up to it. Anyway, so everything's in pieces. Basically, it's all separated, and I've been building the mount for the shed so that I can get the panels up and start getting this charged by solar and whatever. So I figured that I would kind of tell you because I was asked this a couple of times how my batteries are actually doing. I have two of these batteries now. The other one's in the closet, but what I do is I go back and forth charging them. This is my original battery. So I have two of these batteries, but the question has been coming up, how am I keeping them charged if I don't have any panels, and if my system is all split up, then, what's the state of everything? So I figured that I would kind of tell you what I've been kind of doing over the past couple of months, obviously without my system being up and running. So this is my original battery. This is my first battery that I actually had, and I actually keep this charged not through AC but through DC. And I'll tell my cat to move out of the way, but so I'll go ahead and put it on 20 volts, and I'll try to do this one-handed. I don't think this is gonna work. Maybe it will. Alright, so you can see there it's running about between 1290 and 1295, okay? And the ideal charge is 13.06, 13.08, somewhere around there. So what I'm doing is I'm still using this battery. I'm using both of the batteries, actually, but I use them individually. And in order to keep this charged, what I'm doing is, you can see I've got my bicycle generator right here, and I've got the two leads, which are right here. These are the two leads. One's positive and one's negative, obviously. And what I'm doing is I'm connecting them directly to the battery. And then I have my voltmeter here sitting on top of the battery, and I can see the exact voltage of the battery. So I'm watching it real close myself. Normally, my charge controller, which is right here, would take care of the watching for me and make sure that it properly floats and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So normally this is what takes care of it, but obviously I don't have any of that hooked up. So I have to use an alternative, and that's just me watching. When the voltage gets up to about 13 3/4 or whatever, then I back it off, and then I let it come down to whatever, and if I need to, I go ahead and give it another charge. But so that's how I'm floating this battery. But I'm not floating it exclusively. What I'm actually doing is I am using my sine wave inverter. Everything's in my box here, my collection of stuff. But I'm using my sine wave inverter, and I am momentarily draining the battery so that it gets cycles, so that it gets used, because it's ridiculous for me to continuously charge this at float and not be able to use it at all. Just wait for it to drop down naturally and then have to, charge it back up again. That's just really stupid. So I actually get use out of the system. It's just inconvenient the way that it is right now until I get my panels out on the roof. Where I'm living, I can't just set my panels out on the deck and just let them sit there, because they will get stolen. So, and it'd be nice for me to be able to just set them outside for a couple of hours, but unfortunately it's been so cold. And I'm not going to just sit there and watch my panels charge a battery. That's just boring. So anyway, what I've been doing is I'll attach the positive and negative to the battery, and I'll power something like my computer for maybe a half hour, 45 minutes. Then I'll grab the other battery, do the same, and I'll charge these batteries back and forth individually. That's what I'm doing right now. It is very inconvenient, but it is what I'm doing to get by. I still have all of my stuff that you've seen in my previous video. I still have my grid tie inverter. I got a whole box here full of stuff. Now all this stuff, a lot of this stuff here is actually going to be replaced. It's going to be replaced with stuff that is better. For one, since I'm going to be having 5 panels is where I'm upgrading. Eventually I'm going to go to 10. 5 100-watt panels is actually, it's close to about 27, 28 amps. And this is a 25 amp charge controller. So instead of disabling one or putting a sheet over part of the panel, I'm going to get the expansion set that goes with this. So essentially, the panels will run into a wire that will go to the expansion module, okay? And it's nothing more than a solenoid on-off, on-off. That's all it is. The charge controller monitors the voltage of the batteries, and the input side would then go to that, and it would actually switch. It would actuate the controller back and forth, basically on off, whatever it needs to do. So it's an expansion set, and it's basically, this is the brains, and then this is what will handle the actual power that's coming through. So no electricity will be going through the charge controller anymore. It's going to monitor and actuate the expansion that's just going to turn on, turn off, turn off, turn off, whatever. So this is the brains, and then this is the power horse, okay? So I've got that on order from Flex Charge. It should be here soon because I'm anticipating getting this system up and running within the next month or so. I also have the wire on its way, so that should be here soon. And let's see, what else am I doing? I have to clear out the burial outside where the dish network cable is running through. I got to get that all cleared out and then run the wire and so on. So yeah, I've got some work to do, but now that it's starting to warm up, I can actually make some progress on this system. I don't have to take my skill saw and notch out 4x4s in the kitchen to my wife's displeasure. So yeah, for now, so this is what I'm doing. This is what's getting me by, okay? And everything's working just fine. It's just, it doesn't keep the batteries charged as well. I can't augment my use with my solar panels. It's really disappointing that I've got all this equipment, but I haven't been able to use it. But that's fine. I'm not planning on moving anytime soon again. I lived at my other place for 8 years, so once I get all this settled in and I'm done, then I should be ready to go. And it should stay there for quite a while. So just stay tuned for that kind of stuff. I know I keep saying, oh, stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned. Well, this all comes in time, and I'm definitely getting video footage of everything that I'm doing, okay? So don't worry about that. I'm not going to just suddenly have it up and say, here you go. So anyway, yeah, so that's pretty much it.